we're at. Basically, we're bombing Iran. Everybody saw that coming, right? Like that wasn't a surprise. Was anybody surprised that we were going to do this? It wasn't if, but when. You don't move all the hardware over there. The question is, how long will this last? I'm going to tell you, there'll be no political ramifications for Trump. None. The people that love Trump will rally around him and say, this is America first. This is everything he promised us. This is exactly what he's playing 5D chess. The people that hate Trump will say, this is, is exactly who he thought he was going to be. He is a warmonger. He's no different. The likes of Lindsey Graham with his O face. Oh, God, yes, we're invading another country. But it's not really an invasion, but it is. It's bullshit is what it is. Israel wanted us to do this. We did it along with them. How long will it last? This is just my observation and understanding of the current situation and the people I've talked to. It's going to last a little while, right? We're going to bomb a day or two. We'll take a step back. We'll bomb a day or two. We'll take a step back. They'll reassess on the ground. How many people are killed? What is the population doing? They'll spin it. Well, they were going to get a nuclear weapon tomorrow. Well, their ICBMs were almost here. Well, they were just about to do. They'll come up with other bullshit. I mean, Trump in his speech tonight or early in the morning, by the way, speech, it was something that was recorded, put out there. What was it? It was about, the coal, the revolution. Yeah. The regime is evil. Nobody's denying that. Nobody can make any kind of argument that the Iranian regime is solid. They're good people. They're not. They're shitty to their own people. They're awful. But it's their country. And Iran should do what they need to do to overthrow. Now, will it happen? What does that even look like? Honestly, I still have no idea who would be their leader on the ground of the revolution from the other revolution. No idea. And it's not going to be, do they really want the Shah to come in and take over as what, a placeholder, the Shah's son, who hasn't been there for, 47 years? Just out of curiosity, probably not. So what do I think is going to happen? Maybe bombings, right? Some more missile attacks. Maybe Khomeini lives, maybe he doesn't. You've already said it's regime change, right? It's nuclear war. The potential that could have happened if we'd have let them get a bomb. It is. It's about all the things they've done in the past. It's about regime change. It's all. They're going to come up with all the shit. They'll kill several of the leaders, and then what? I mean, the best case scenario is we do this for a week. We come back. We claim victory. They still stay in charge. And by the best case scenario, I mean just getting us out of this shit. And we stand back and go, well, we've now decimated to the point that it's virtually impossible for them to get anything. We've used our might. We've showed the world what badasses we are. And okay, but what? Worst case scenario is this goes on for months and months and maybe a year. We get dragged into it. Casualties everywhere. But it doesn't matter for the people who love Trump. They're going to just they'll find an excuse why this is amazing. Right? For the people who hate Trump, it wouldn't have mattered if he took out Khomeini and today the Iranian people were bringing in democracy. They're going to say he's evil and bad. It's all a fucking game. And unfortunately, lives are at risk. Now, how does this play out if Americans start to die? That's a totally different story. But both sides are going to want to win. And at some point in time, Trump will probably say, okay, we've had enough. We've done enough. Now it's your time to rise up and do your thing. But I could just see the ebbs and flows for this potentially, like a few months ago, we destroyed everything they had nuclear wise. And by the way, if you guys don't know, the deal, which was bullshit, already that they were trying to get, The deal that Iran laid on the table, according to Qatar, was better than anything that Obama got. Was like way better. Like so much better. And it was never going to happen. Because it's not what Israel wanted. And Israel would like to see it, probably devolve into massive chaos for days, months, and years. So it's a nightmare. It is an absolute nightmare. Do I think that watching people already try to figure out how this has, much better this has made us. Are we safer today? Were you really that worried? Well, they're the largest sponsor of terror state sponsor of terror. Yeah, they are. Yeah, it is. No doubt about that. I mean, nobody is debating how bad they are. But as far as us in America, is another potential long drawn out conflict that unsettles the Middle East better for us today? Fuck no. Not even close. Not even close. And the MAGA sycophants, and I'm not talking about the average friggin' Republican or conservative, they're going to figure out a way to say it's 15D chess. You guys don't get it. And he'll claim a victory because 2 or 3 of their leaders are dead, even if it's Khomeini, and that this is it. It's victory. And this is what it was always about. And then what's going to happen? We're going to look up in a few months and nothing probably will have changed in Iran. Nothing will have changed. And we'll say we flexed our might. We did all the stuff. They couldn't take hold of it. But now the problem is you've made it your red line for regime change. Right? That's it. So what does this look like? How long does this go on? I couldn't tell you. I would love to say it's over now, but it's probably not. And it could go on for weeks, could go on for months. I hope none of those things. But at the end of the day, this was always going to happen. Israel wanted this. We've seen it. Some of the stuff that's out there is just insane. Do not be fooled by AI and the stories, because the first casualty of war is the truth. And the truth is nobody knows what's going to happen. This was always going to happen in some way, but the outcome, and that's been our biggest issue over the years. We're good at getting into shit. We are shitty at sticking the landing. And I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Am I happy about it? No. I think the Iranian people need to have their say in all of this. And do you think that we are going to, what if, let's just throw this out there, the what if world, because there's several scenarios that could happen. This could go on for a couple weeks and be over and everybody rides away and go, yay. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, the Iranian people, and remember, a vast majority of the population is under 35. They don't know the Shah. This revolution was not their revolution in 79. None of this stuff is what they want. Right? So, but let's just say they decide to put somebody else in charge through their version of democracy that we are like, yeah, and that person's not pals to us. Then what? Do we do this again? Is it rinse and repeat? We have to ask Israel? Because you think Israel's going to say, hey, you know what? We're cool with everything right now. No, they're not. It's a nightmare. A nightmare. Since 79, we have sanctioned them to near death. We've bombed them as they have done some shitty things. Again, no argument. No argument. Would love to have seen an X-Men pop up and destroy the regime and hand over leadership and freedom to the people of Iran, which needs to happen because it is if you go and look at Tehran, you go and look at it, it is a modern city that is incredible. The people there are so smart. This isn't one of these things where we're thinking about when we see the Middle East and we think it's just a bunch of guys riding around in old Fiat and Toyota trucks, firing off stuff in, places where there's just abject poverty. That is not Iran. But through these 47 years, what have we seen? How many times is that we thought that we're going to topple them and it hasn't happened? So does it have to be it? Victory is going to shift here too. Just like the goalpost shift from first it was no nukes, then we went in there and bombed them, and we destroyed everything, but magically we didn't. And then it was, well, look what they did to their people. We're coming to help their people, to all the stuff they did in the past, to potentially election interference, which was another one, to ICBMs, and just as those goalposts change, the narrative of how we get out of this and what a victory it is for Trump and this administration and the world for what we did today. I have a feeling this is, like I said, my prediction is simple. We'll eventually say we're going to have some sort of weird peace-ish agreement. The regime or parts of it will stay in place. We'll claim victory because we killed maybe several of their uppers, including the Ayatollah, and not much else will look too different than what we already have. But they'll be able to claim victory, and that's that. Worst case scenarios, we're in this for months and years, and something that's long drawn out that costs God knows how much. And the big side of this for the administration, for the world, is what happens if Americans start to die, which Trump came out and said was a possibility. That would probably get people feeling different. Remember, most people, and Trump's usually great at 80-20 things. Most people, they said, nah, we don't want this. We don't want this. Most conservatives, we don't want this. The neocons do. It's regime change. I thought the goal, let's go back to this. I want you guys to remember this.
War in Iraq, we spent $2 trillion, thousands of lives. We don't even have it. Iran is taking over Iraq with the second largest oil reserves in the world. Obviously, it was a mistake. So George Bush made a mistake. We can make mistakes, but that one was a beauty. We should have never been in Iraq. We have destabilized the Middle East.
But so you still think he should be impeached?
I think it's my turn, isn't it?
You do whatever you want. You call it whatever you want. I want to tell you, they lied.
Okay.
They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none, and they knew there were none. There were no weapons of mass destruction.
I thought it was about peace. I thought it was about America first and the people. And see, here's the thing. When I talk to people who are hardcore Trump supporters, again, he could do it no wrong in their eyes. They'll say this is America first because they're the largest sponsors, state sponsor of terror. And this is, and they've destabilized. And they'll come up with all kinds of why this is America first. And I look around and I say, when does it become America first? Because if it goes on for a long period of time and it costs us billions upon billions and potentially $1 trillion, is that America first? Probably not. But they'll come up with a reason. Like I said, they're going to come up with a win. And a justification for it is, ICBMs, nuclear capabilities, what they did to us 47 years ago, and taking hostages, the USS Cole, Iraq, election interference, what they did to their people. Are any of those working for you? No. They'll come up with, they've got several reasons, and they're going to come up for a win. And the win will be, we've decapitated the top several, maybe even, again, Khomeini, and now we can pull back and say, we've done our bit, Iran. You people, you go do your bit. And we'll see. Worst case scenario is it devolves into Libya. And then you've got, maybe the army taking on the IRGC, and that battle goes on, and there are people dying in the streets, and it just becomes just absolute shit show. So I don't know. I have no idea. I wasn't shocked. I don't think anybody should be. The good news for, I guess, this administration too is Epstein's now off the front page of all the publications everywhere, and onward they go. So it should piss us all off. It should. It should. And the other side of all of this is the negotiation side that we should always think about is we're negotiating. And in the midst of our negotiations, we knew damn well it was never going to be a negotiation. It was always going to be this. And now we're in a situation where we're firing stuff. And I pray that what I hope for is they'll claim victory early. We'll end this quick. And, we may be back here in 6 months, even if we claim victory today. But they've already said this is going to be drawn out. This is going to take longer. And this just is the beginning of something. How long is that something? We'll find out. Hey, reach out to us across all of our social media. Love hearing from all of you guys. Thought I'd break in here today and talk a bit about this. I was just hoping to have enjoyed my day, putting my show together for Monday. Had some fun stuff. Next thing you know, this. I have our good buddy Mike Lyons, our military analyst, joining us on Monday on the radio program. Follow along at Chad Benson Show across all of our social media. Like and subscribe. Try to do all this as much as I possibly can for you guys. You guys have a good weekend, and hopefully Godspeed to everybody out there fighting this damn thing. And let's pray that it ends sooner rather than later.